So today's video, we're going to show you guys how to notch out the bottom of the frame on this truck. So when we put the frame in, we set it up underneath, we realized that this bar actually on the frame was in the way. So it would hit right here, like this. So what we had to do is notch it out so that it could go up inside the cab. So let me take you a little bit closer and show you what we had. So this is the problem that we had. So the frame itself wouldn't go up high enough into the cab, so we had to section it out, okay? Like that, so that we can get an extra 3 inches of clearance so the frame could go up in there. But what we had to do is we took just some regular cardboard. Well, first off, I just hit this with a grinder, kind of ground it off, and then I cut a little piece out, and then I just bent it over, and then I put this here, and then I just kind of spot welded that in. But I want to give it some structural support. So what I did is I took some cardboard, just kind of set it up there, marked it out with a little marker here, like that, okay? And then I cut that out. Took my scissors, cut that out, and then turned that into a piece of cardboard. Then I transferred that onto a sheet of metal, 18 gauge metal. Actually, I think this is closer to 16 gauge metal. Then I transferred that, and then I just ground with a cutter, and then I ground it and filed it down. And so then that'll sit just like that, and then I'll spot weld that in, and I did the exact same thing for the top section, and that would sit right there, and then I'll tack that in. Once that's all done, then I'll go through and I'll tack all of this and seam that back together. So that's kind of what we have to do today. All right, so what I learned in the last clip, this, before I could get it spot welded on here, this actually fell all the way down to the bottom, which meant I had to turn the cab all the way up on its other end to get this out. So what I did is I put a magnet on both sides, kind of get a couple tack welds into position, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So there it is, came out pretty good. I got both sides done. Now I got a nice channel in there to put the piece of steel through. So now we're going to flip it back over and line up the frame, see how we did. So we got the frame laid up underneath the truck. Let me take you down there and I'll show you exactly what it is that we notched out and how that's going to fit according to the frame. Alright, so here's the back of the truck. I'm going to take you down. So here's the frame rails that you can see. These are like the factory frame rails from the cab. And what we actually had to cut, so I'm going to put the light so you can see how it actually panned out. So there's our little notch section there. It's barely even in that. We decided that we didn't need as much clearance there as we thought, but it come out pretty good. Let me get you up a little closer so you can kind of see. It's just hard with this frame angle here. But so there's one side. And there's the other side, so we're only into it maybe a half an inch. And then the frame is laying on these boards, but I have it set up to where I'm about a half an inch off of the ground, according to these plates right here. These little wooden plates, so you guys can see those. So I basically got it sitting, when I lay body down, it's gonna actually sit about a half an inch off of the ground to kind of help protect this rocker panel. But that's basically what it looks like underneath. Next week's video, we will show you how we build the legs. I've already started up there in the front. I will show you how we're going to put the legs in here. Also, I wanted to show you the frame horns. So what we did is we cut the frame horns off of the old frame. You can see them right there. And then they're going to be welded to the new frame. So there's the back. And then this side here, we need to build a little bit. The actual frame has to go over a little bit, and then we're going to weld those frame horns right to the frame, or I should say the cab horns. There's 6 of them. There's 2 up in the front and 2 in the middle. So we just finished up the frame. We got it all sectioned underneath the cab there. Next week's video, we're going to show you guys how to weld on those frame horns and how those got to be all of in adjustment, and then the video after that is going to be doing the actual post, what we call the legs that are going to have wheels on it, so that we can roll this in and out of the trailer to get it to the shows. So that's it for this week, so please rate, subscribe, and comment, and we will see you guys next week, and we'll talk to you later.